Said he paid me pretty good.
It's on.
All right.
Okay, we're rolling.
Yeah, we'll roll.
Should be.
At this time. Good evening. Welcome to the Landis meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everybody who's viewing. I hope that everybody can hear. If you cannot, I have asked if you have my personal phone number or anyone up here, send us a text, and we will try to speak louder so that everyone can understand us. At this time, I would ask everyone in here to please stand. We'll have a moment of silence, and then we will say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we will move to adopt the agenda for tonight. They did put a new one right there. It has a new date. The dates are wrong, so you'll both see those. Ms. Diane passed those out.
Mayor, I move at this time we adopt the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. At this time, we will move to Mr. Barefoot with citizen comments.
Mayor and members of the board, I do have just one. I have a letter from Nadine Cherry, 410 West Garden Street, here in Landis. Mayor and members of the board, I would like to know if the mayor and the board are aware that if a person has a yard sale, they are supposed to let town hall know, because you are only allowed to have so many per month, I believe. I do not recall the limit. It doesn't cost anything. It is just to keep a record of who is having yard sales. Thank you.
Did you do any background check on that?
I have
Not
not.
yet? Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Cherry, for your comment. We will look into that, and we will let you know as soon as we have an answer. At this time, we will move to adopt the minutes from June 1st, 2020, special call meeting June 30th, 2020, and the July 13th regular scheduled meeting. Are there any questions about the minutes that you guys have looked at?
No.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I move that the board consider approving the minutes dated June 1st, special call meeting June 30th, and our last meeting July 13th, all of 2020.
Second. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, and then we will take an update from Mr. Barefoot.
Mayor and members of the board, during our last meeting, we brought to your attention that there was a funding program that had been approved by the state legislature. It's called part of the Coronavirus Relief Fund. There had been an earlier version of it that was for counties of a certain size only. They came back and added that same amount of money and required that 25% would be funneled down to municipalities. At that time, I reported to you that our expected partial of that funding was going to be $66,296. That was anticipated. That's what the Board of Commissioners would establish as our part. A few days after we met, they met and they voted a little different formula, which is good news because the funding now is expected to be $91,371. Those funds are to be used for qualified projects or reimbursements to mitigate the negative effects of the COVID-19 virus. At that time, I asked you to approve our plan to solicit, to put together a program to improve our access to help the public here in Town Hall. We talked about doing a pass-through in one of the window units on the utility side, a drop box, and some other improvements. We reached out to Kannapolis Glass and Glazing, a very respected company, and they are helping us get the pricing and get the information necessary to submit our application to the Board of County Commissioners. It has to be to them by August 20. The project has to be completed, or any expenditures has to be completed by December 30th. The emphasis on December 30th. Why it's not December 31st, I'm not certain. But that is what we're working against. We've had some good meetings, and we do plan to pursue a pass-through window, a drop box out front under the weather. We plan to make some improvements to our drive-through drop box for handicapped people that can't get out of their vehicle. We'll continue to use that one. And we plan to put in petitions in each of the stations inside where people have to have access to, the customers have to have access, or vice versa, to our staff. And there are some other things that we will make the application for. Right now, we're just trying to figure out what is qualified and what will work for us. We will not meet again. I don't think it's necessary to meet again so long as you all authorize what I'm asking you for this evening.
You're very hard to understand. Can you pull this up closer?
We have to make the application to the Board of get it submitted to the Board of County Commissioners by August 20. We won't have a meeting until then, and what I will be asking you to approve tonight is to authorize us to make an application for the full amount of $91,371 in that application. We'll of course send you all a copy electronically of the application itself. But again, they're the ones who will approve it, and once they approve it, we will go to work in every aspect of the program we can do to make sure we get the full allocation to our citizens.
Is there any discussion on this matter?
No. Mayor and Board, I move we allow Mr. Barefoot in his capacity to move forward with the application for the coronavirus relief fund application needed to the Board of County Commissioners by August 20th.
I'll say.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Can you maybe take yours and like sit it on the side when you speak, just because they say they can't hear you?
Well, I will do that, and very gladly, the next three items, all three of the next three items, four items, is going to be from Finance Officer and IMC.
The first item that I have is to talk about write-offs of aged receivables. I don't think this is working. The first item that I have is to talk about the write-off of aged receivables and an update on debt set-off. So we have a fairly substantial amount of what will eventually become bad debt, and it's currently in our receivables. And typically, we would have written those amounts off with a schedule. What I'm asking you to do tonight, we would like to consider writing anything older than 5 years off, along with anything that has a balance of $5 or less, either as a debit or a credit balance. And we would continue to do that with a policy that says we're going to write things off once a year, anything older than 5 years. This first write-off would be for $13,480.33. And you'll see the breakdown there between funds. And going forward, we would like to use debt set-off much more aggressively. Debt set-off is a program where we reach out to our citizens that have a balance due, and we tell them that their balance is due. These citizens are no longer active accounts. So debt set-off is designed to collect accounts that have moved or closed their account for one reason or another. So we would reach out to them, give them an opportunity to pay. If they don't pay, then we turn that into debt set-off. And debt set-off goes to the state, and then the state takes a portion of anyone's tax refunds that they get and sends those to us until that balance is paid. That has not been done since 2017. You cannot go back more than 3 years, so we will be submitting within the next 45 to 60 days everything for debt set-off since 2017. And then going forward, we will submit a file monthly so that we are much more timely in getting that to debt set-off, because the faster we get it to debt set-off, the better chance we have of collecting something that would come in as a tax refund, especially given this year that our taxes were filed at a different time. Refunds might be coming back at a different time than they typically do. So we are hopeful that we'll start getting some of that money in this year.
Hey, do we have any discussion?
Is that 13.4, is that just this year or back to 17?
No, that's anything older than 5 years. We'll be keeping the other things because we don't want to write them off as long as we have a chance of collecting them. And so we think a reasonable period of time would be 5 years. And everything prior to 3 years ago has already been filed. And then we'll file within the next 30, 45 days, we'll file the ones for 17 through 20.
No discussion? Anything else, Mr. Overcash?
Nothing further.
Okay.
The next item that I have is an update and a utility calendar. It would be nice if I could get a motion.
Yes, we
to-
need to go
to go
ahead
ahead
and
and
make a motion on
approve.
this one,
Yes.
to approve it instead of lumping them all together.
So
Go ahead.
Mayor and Board, I move that we consider adopting a policy that writes off accounts receivable balances after 5 years and continually writes off balances of $5 or less for both debit and credit balances, along with moving forward towards debt set-off.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
The town is well on its way to improving operational efficiency in the office, which will in turn be beneficial for our citizens and customers. Our town hall employees work hard each day to make sure citizens of the town receive services they need in a timely manner. Over the past several years, there's been a significant amount of turnover at town hall. I am thankful for those who have stayed through challenging times and made sure essential services were provided. We are fortunate this time to have an opportunity to look at our processes and ways to improve service to our citizens. We are starting that tonight by making a commitment to be more consistent in how we manage our utility calendar. Going forward, citizens can expect that bills will go out as scheduled and cutoffs will be administered as shown in the schedule below. This schedule will be posted on the town website for citizens and customers to reference at their convenience. Hopefully removing the doubt around when cutoffs will happen and when bills will be received will help customers plan financially for the month. I don't think we have been as consistent as we could have been at least since I've been here. I've noticed that we tend to vary somewhat, even though we say our bills go out on a certain day and cutoffs on a certain day. That seems to vary, and we get a lot of calls in, are you cutting off today, are you cutting off today, or I haven't got my bill yet. And so if we post this calendar, I'm hoping that will mean that people can count on when things are going to happen. Bills should go out on the last day of the month. They are due the following month on the 25th. That date does not change because we have an ability to pay online or to put payments in the Dropbox. So the 25th is the day that bills are due. Bank drafts happen on the 17th unless it's on the 15th unless it's on a weekend, and then it'll go to the following Monday. And then cutoffs happen the 15th of the month after you receive your bill. So if you receive your bill on the 25th, if bills go out on the 31st of August, then those same bills that have not been paid are subject to cut off on September the 15th. That does not require any action. I just wanted to bring you up to date on some process changes.
Thank you.
Finally, tonight I have for you, for your consideration, a resolution for the Town of Landis' response to the expiration of COVID-19 Executive Order 124 and Executive Order 142. We talked about this earlier when we thought Executive Order 124 was going to expire earlier in the year. Basically, the language in this resolution does not really change except for the dates. And it does allow us, we are doing one more thing differently. What will happen, and I'd like to just talk through the process we have in place. We are in the process of putting together individual plans, payment plans, to go out to each one of our customers that has any kind of balance that is past due. If that balance happened prior to COVID, that means if it was a bill that was received prior to March the 29th, which would mean for us any bills February or earlier, if there is an outstanding balance, that balance is due by the 25th of August, or the customer will be subject to cut off, because it is not subject to a payment plan under COVID 124. Any invoices received after that, so that means anybody who got a bill that's still past due for March, April, May, or June will receive an alternative payment plan that includes dividing their balance that's outstanding by 6 months and expecting that those payments be received each month, along with whatever their current bill is. If those payments are not received monthly, then they are subject to cut off. Late fees will not be charged on those balances that were incurred from March to the end of June. However, late fees will be assessed on any balances going forward, starting with this bill.
So June or July?
July, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Yes.
Just wanted to make
Through
sure.
July, yes.
Just, if anybody's watching.
Yes, any bills. Now, the bill for July is subject to late fees and cutoffs because it did not go out. The executive order ended on the 29th, and our bills went out. Our bills are dated the 31st. So that means that this month's bill will be subject to both late fees and cutoffs if not paid according to the schedule.
Okay, how many people would you estimate haven't paid? Can you tell us that?
I would say we have probably in the 400 range.
Mr. Mr. Stewart, Mr. Overcash, when you speak, if y'all can get up a little bit closer, just,
You need to.
yeah, I'm speaking over here. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. All right. That question was from Ms. Sells, who is viewing on her vacation. Do we have any discussion? Any questions?
No.
All right, and you need a motion on this?
We need a motion for the resolution to be approved.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Copies of all the documents that will go out to our citizens are attached.
Okay.
Yes. Mayor, at this time I move that we consider adopting the resolution for the Town of Landis' response to the expiration of Executive Order 124 and 142.
I'll say.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We will now ask for a finance officer report from Ms. Seeger.
Maybe if I have it, hold on. I'm not seeing it in my packet. Look, I think I can get it to you anyway. I don't think it made it in.
It wasn't in ours.
Okay. I really just wanted to spend a little bit of time telling you what's coming up in finance over the next month. Our auditors, our new auditors, will be arriving tomorrow, and they will be in-house. 3 days this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're looking forward to having them come, and they actually said they are excited to see a small town that's doing their own financials. So we look forward to being able to provide the documents that they need. I think we have everything ready, and it should be a smooth process. With that said, we are also looking forward to the upcoming year. One of my goals for the year is to be able to provide you monthly with financial statements and with an update on where we are financially. Not in great detail, but something that you guys will have for your information. You don't have that tonight, primarily because we have not closed out our year yet. June will stay open until the middle of this month, so that any invoices that come in for material that was purchased and received in June prior to the end of the year will be charged back to that year. I think it is beneficial for you to see those year-end close numbers as opposed to preliminary numbers. So next month, look for both the June year-end numbers and the July information for you. And going forward, you will receive those monthly. So I look forward to the next year. We've got some exciting things going. I will also be attending the North Carolina School of Government administration class that's going to be taught through Zoom for the next 3 or 4 months. So I look forward to being able to do that. I've applied for a scholarship, so hopefully we won't have to pay for that out of town funds. But look forward to doing that administrative class. I think that'll help. And we're looking at the possibility of sending another person to the finance class. So those are some goals that we have for the year, to get training done, to cross-train, so that we don't have anybody in the office that can't be out without someone being able to step in and fill those shoes. So our goal for the year is cross-training, getting you more timely reports, and getting our finances to continue in a better direction.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Mr. Stewart, I'm going to hand you this because I'm getting some feedback that they cannot hear you. Put that one to the side. Leave it on though because of the interference. Okay. Now we will have a manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I too have a report that's not written. I'll start with, I hope...
Go ahead, put your mouth to the...
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
I also don't have a written report to give you. First off, I want to compliment Diane and those that she influences, because those ladies have done a ton of work, and it's very tedious work having to go through and get all these files in order and determine who gets what and get it all ready to get it done. And we've been doing that plus a lot of other things at the same time. So they really are doing a great job. I expect later this week to do a press release on new hire for the HR town clerk position. I'm not at liberty at this point to announce that, but I'm confident that it will be announced later this week, and I will get you all a copy at the same time I send it out to the press and to post it on our website. I had indicated to you that I would get you some information via email about a salary range for the public public safety officer, and it will either be a salary range 28 or 29. I'm still in the middle of determining that. The only difference is either one of those two ranges will work. There's a 5% difference in the two ranges.
28?
28.
That's the salary range.
Right, that's the salary range.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's a range.
Okay.
The salary range 28 starts at 69,381. 29 starts at 72,800. So either one of them will work. If you go with a lower range and and you get somebody with less experience, it gives you more flexibility. So either one of them will work. So long as I don't hear any negative feedback from you all, I will be advertising that
What was
position.
the amounts one more time, just because I can...
The beginning range on the salary range 28 is 69,381.
Okay.
But there's room in that range to start someone above that beginning level. 29 starts at 72.8. So either one of them will work. The value in going with a lower range, you still could take somebody who has significant experience, and there's a place in the range for them. So it'll be one of those two. And I will get it advertised this week. I am anticipating coming back to you next month. I've had some complaints and concerns about South Zion Street. It's a cut-through street. The traffic gets kind of speedy in there. We're trying to look at ways to slow it down. And I am considering some stop signs, so you may want to go and take a look at it. I've been out on more than one occasion to take a look at it, but when you come off 5th Street coming this way, the street is a little bit narrower until you get into the curve, and in that curve there's been a couple of incidents where people have run off the road and hit mailboxes. And
About 25, 30 years ago, I asked if those curve signs be put in that curve, and I never could get it done because the people lived in that house. They're gone now.
I mean, they didn't want it?
No, they didn't want it. Their front yard. But they're gone, long gone.
Yeah, I think the people there now do want it.
Yes.
And they have small children, and I can see how someone not paying attention could cause a serious accident to happen. So I want to look at that. On Old Beatty Ford Road at Dial Street, there is a property on the right before you get to Dial. If you're going towards 85, the person who backs up to that lot has expressed an interest in making an offer to purchase it. I know your position on the minimum value that the board might accept, but I've looked at the appraised value on that lot, and Tony, you probably know better than everybody. There's a series of voltage lines running through that property, and it can't believe that could ever be developed. So I had told the gentleman that I was going to talk to you and ask you all to take a look at it, and if he makes an offer next month, maybe be prepared to talk about it. If he makes a low offer and someone else wants to counterbid, they can do that. But I clearly don't think it's a base bid of I think it's $28,000 is reasonable. So I just challenge you to take a look at that. That's pretty much it.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll move to board members' comments. I'll start with you, Mr. Evercash. No?
No.
Not even a buddy. All right, Mr. Boyer.
I'd like to commend Diane and Mr. Fairfield for such a wonderful job they're doing. I can understand a little bit of what y'all into. It's a lot of figures, a lot of things going on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Y'all done a good job.
Thank you.
Mr. Stewart.
I just want to thank everyone for viewing. I hope you can hear me now. And also, even though I was not present, I heard Friday night movie by the parking lot by the pools, a great success. Hope all the citizens enjoyed it, and want to wish all of the school-age children a happy season of returning back to school, whether it's virtual or in a hybrid classroom setting.
All right, and then I will end. I want to give a huge shout out to Jessica with Parks and Rec and the Brook and Whataburger, Beaver Concessions. Whataburger was supposed to leave at 8:30, and they pulled out at 9:45. Their line was forever long, and that was wonderful. people practiced social distance. If they came with their family, they stayed with their family. My husband and I kind of joked that people really didn't get up and walk around. I mean, they came, they sat down, and they stayed, unless you were in the line to get something to eat, which it was a great success. And even for trash pickup, when it was over, I think I picked up a total of 10 items, and that's huge. There were about 400 people there, so that's great. I greatly appreciate everybody that came out. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Leonard. Thank you, Pam. I know you're probably not watch. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Libby. Thanks to everybody. We appreciate it. And at this time, if I have a motion, we will adjourn this meeting.
Mayor, make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, speak in your mics.
Aye.
Motion passes. We are adjourned.
30 minutes.